Hey, there we are, live on Psych Ups with Ryan. Yeah, here we are. So, guys, two things I want to really hit today. Number one is turn in some leads. Guess what? We're doing another live event coming up a week from Monday. So, it's time to generate some leads for us to call for you. And, guys, this is a free service we're doing for you. We're the expert closing callers of our generation. In fact, we've been doing it for over 20 years now. We first started at live events. Calling people would bring in their live seller leads, and we'd call them live the first night of the event. So we actually have an event coming up in a week and a half, and I would love to call your leads. So that means that you can call any for sale by owner, any lead. You know what? I'll even call a lead from a realtor. Now, normally we like to call for sale by owners because we can call them and they can make a decision on the phone. If I call a realtor, and we do these at live events. Now, we've been doing these at live events for 20 years now, and there's nobody better at closing deals than Lynette and me. So we want to help you close your deals. We don't take a cut. You get 100% of the profits. It's just a way that we demonstrate to our students how the business works. And hopefully we're closing your deal, a real deal, for you at the event. So what we want you to do is send in your leads, and I'm going to put our Jennifer can put in there. She's so good at helping me out with this stuff. If you want to send your leads to wolfcouple@gmail.com, wolfcouple@gmail.com. Hey, David, how you doing? Good to see you here. Jennifer's, of course, here, our most faithful, loyal bruncher here. Actually, he's Psych Up with Brian. And so we really want you guys to make money. We want to get your deal closed. And guess what? We're still having our competition for the rest of the summer here. And we're about to give out maybe next Monday or probably a week from today, we're going to give out another free system for you guys who have sent in testimonials. So we don't have a ton of them, so feel free to send in your testimonial, how our systems and how our training has helped you. And I'm in a generous mood. Trust me. We've given out, Jennifer actually won one of our free systems, and you can pick whichever one you want. So we have a lot of different ones. We have our acquisitionist system. We have our 1-hour home sale system that's all about selling fast with open houses. It's got all the steps, all the scripts, everything you need. You know how detailed my systems are. If you know our what to say and what to do system, how granular that is. So we want to give you a free system. So if you turn in a great lead and we call it for you at this event, and when we get you a deal, I will give you a system. How's that? I will promise you, if you send us a good lead and we call it on that night and it turns out to be good, you know what? Even if it doesn't close, even if we get an appointment off of it, that will show me something. So I'll give you a free system. Anybody who does this, okay? So this isn't even a contest. This is anybody who does this is going to get a free prize from the Wolves. And I'm talking about, legitimately a $2,000, $1,500 system here. So all you got to do is generate some for sale by owner leads for us through yourself, or have somebody else calling for sale by owner leads anywhere in the country and turn them into us. It'd be nice if they said yes, they were open to monthly payments, but they don't have to. Now, you guys hopefully have our FSBO script, our FSBO opening call script. That's the best script that we like, but I'll take any form so long as it has what? I really just want to know, obviously, the address and the phone number and the seller's name. And then it would be nice to know why they want to sell, what kind of a little bit about their situation, why and when they want to sell. So that would be the basic core of information. If you knew that much, and if you have leads sitting on your desk right now or in some pile that you think might have some life, but you don't know, and you kind of let it slide or something, and the house is still for sale. I don't want you to send me something where the house is already sold. But if you check on Zillow, and even if it's off market now, but it never sold, I will look at stuff like that. So pretty much send us anything. Again, we need leads to call at this event. It's a week from Monday. So again, this is your chance to have the Wolves closing your leads live at an event. All right. So this is really an awesome opportunity. It's free, and we don't take a cut. So you keep 100% of the profits on when we close you a deal. We've had a lot of students send in deals. We've had a lot of deals get closed at these live calling sessions, and it never seems like we have enough leads. Why? Because people don't pick up the dang phone. So even if we have a stack of the 30 best leads I ever saw, and we have 2 hours to call, each call is going to take maybe 10 minutes, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, depends on how involved it gets. But, we invariably run out of people to call before we run out of time because nobody picks up. And that's the problem of caller ID. And so we always leave a message. Here's a good tip, guys. If you call a new seller and they don't pick up, immediately follow that up with a text saying, I'm calling about your house for sale. Please call me back as soon as possible. And then you can say I'm excited or whatever else, but always follow up with a text. They don't know who you are. Nobody is picking up their phone nowadays if they don't recognize the caller ID, which is sad. But unless sometimes, they know they have a house for sale, so they're kind of expecting to get calls. But it's amazing how even with a house for sale advertised in the paper, they are not following up. They're not not picking up the dang phone. So we will make a lot of calls on that. It's a week from Monday, and I really want your leads. I really want to help you close deals. So anything you got cooking, and you know what? You got time to launch a little marketing campaign here. You could get some letters out there. You could do something to get some leads in sometime next week and turn them into us by next weekend. And then we can call them a week from Monday night for you at the event. Okay. So please do that. That's your opportunity to have the Wolves make money for you, the very best closing callers in the business. And so I really want you to take advantage of that and send in a lot of leads. We never have enough leads. And a lot of times, like I said, we can even have a stack of leads thinking, wow, we have plenty of leads to call tonight. And then, nobody's picking up. And literally sometimes we'll call 10 leads in a row without getting a pickup. Now we always leave a message, and I want you to do this too. And do exactly what I said. As soon as you call somebody and they don't know your caller ID, so always follow up by leaving a message. Always follow up with a text message. I just tried to call you about your house for sale, especially if their house is for sale. Now, if you're just cold calling them because you think their house might be a good deal, that's a little trickier because their house isn't for sale. But if it's already for sale, then it's easy to say, hey, I'm calling on your house for sale. Could you please call me back right away? And so we do that with the text, with a follow-up text. And anytime you call a seller and they don't pick up, always follow up with a text and just say, hi, I'm, Joe or Mary. I'm really interested in buying your house. Make sure you put the words buying your house in there. Don't just say, hey, I'm an investor, or hey, I'm calling about your house. Don't say that, because you know what? They'll think you're a realtor. Because they get a lot of calls from realtors. And if you say, I'm calling about your house, they'll think, oh, that's another realtor. I'm calling about buying your house. That's what you have to say in your text message. And then again, guys, send us any leads we would love to call and close deals for you. Hey, Lacey, I've sent you a couple of emails. I sent you an email today with some really good forms, including the purchase and sales agreement. Lacey sent us a lead that we're looking at here, and the guy is motivated. And so here's the trick on this deal. The guy's motivated, but he needs to have a place to move. So he wants us to find him a place to move to. And that kind of holds up the deal, doesn't it? Also, we're trying to get the least amount down on his house, but if he needs our money to buy his next house, that also kind of complicates the deal. So, sometimes when you get deals like that, you just write up a purchase and sales agreement and you submit it to them and say, look, here's what I can do. Here's what I'd like to do. And say, I haven't been able to find you another house yet. Have you been able to find anything yet? And just when they're looking at this offer, maybe they'll say, okay, maybe we'll just move into a rental for a year or figure something else out and just take this offer. So you can't always complete both sides of the deal. I want you to try. Now, if we could find another house for this guy to move into in the price range he's looking for, and we are actively seeking that, Lacey. And so, if we stumble across that we can buy for nothing down, then eureka, we might have a double deal here. But if this guy's waiting to sell for us to find him another house for nothing down, you know, you don't know how long that's going to take, and he has specific parameters. So sometimes you just got to submit an offer. Sometimes, you know, if you get a deal, and this is my best advice on a deal, if you get stuck on a deal, you've talked to him a couple of times, but it's not, you know, there's some kind of stumbling block, just write the dang thing up. I talked about this last week. Just put it in writing, write it up as in the purchase and sale agreement, and send it to them and say, here's what I can do. You know, what do you want to do? And sometimes they'll just say, okay, well, we've got this offer. Let's just take it and move forward, and we'll figure out, you know, where we're going to live. So when you have contingencies, we call that contingency. Sometimes a house, you know, you buying the house is contingent on them selling the house, but usually that's the case. In this case, us buying their house is contingent on them finding and being able to buy another house. So it's kind of like a contingency deal. So be aware that that can happen. And that's what's hanging up that whole deal. I mean, if the guy would just take, you know, he's willing to go nothing down, and it looks like he owes 120 on it, and he is willing to take 120. Okay, so he's willing to sell for nothing down, but he wants money to buy his next house. It's kind of complicated. So I will, you know, when we figure it out a little bit more, I might share that deal with you guys a little bit more. Okay, so let's see what you guys are talking about today. Again, send in leads. We have an appointment, so we won't be on live to watch. Have an amazing day and prosperous weekend. That's great that you have an appointment. That's awesome. How did you send me? You must have just been taken off and dropped me that message. Good morning, Brian. Hey, good morning, David. Good to see you. And Lacey, hey, great to see you. I know Lacey and I have had some that's low equity. They bought 2022 expiring. Guys, if somebody bought a house in 2022, how much equity? Depends on how much they put down, but a lot of people put 3% down. So if they put 3% down or 5% down and they bought it in 2022, they're not going to have a lot of equity in there. And that's the ones where you say, will you sell for what you owe? And hopefully you can say, will you also keep the mortgage in your name? And if they say yes and yes, that's a deal. So nice homes, higher homes. You know, I don't mind expensive houses, but you know, when you get up over, I don't know, 300,000, 400, 500, depending on your market, there's just less buyers in that market. And, you know, sometimes it can be more of a challenge to move a property like that. But I like those if I can get good financing on those. And Facebook ads. Okay, Facebook ads. Happy Friday. Hey, Tony, great to see you. So Tony, you're always good at turning in leads. I know you've turned in leads before that we've called for you. So anybody, again, we're doing this live calling thing on a week from Monday night. So turn in any leads you want us to call, follow. We'll take notes if we get a hold of them. The big challenge is just getting them on the phone. So if you tell them, actually, if you talk to anybody between now and, you know, a week from Monday, I want you to tell them, hey, you know what? My partner would love to talk to you. I work with this couple, they're called the Wolves, and they want to call you. They're doing a bunch of calls on Monday night on, it's August 4th, I think. Okay, so what's a week from Monday? I think it's the 4th. So I want you to tell them, hey, call, you know, they're calling you on Monday night, probably around between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it's an Arizona phone number. So make sure you pick up. So if you do talk to somebody, and you know what, this is worthy of you going back through your old turn downs. Go back through some of the old sheets you have, maybe from that you didn't think were going to work out. Look them up on Zillow, see if they're still for sale or they're still floating around, and try to reach out to them and say, hey, you know, I you know, have the house sold, whatever. I'd like to have you talk to my partner. Okay. And it's amazing sometimes what we can do, what we maybe can figure out and can work out with the seller that maybe you wouldn't be at that level. So for sure, look up old leads, pull new leads. This is a time to maybe even do a marketing plan and get us some awesome leads. Okay. So do that. And where do you send them to? Okay. Oh, hey, Caleb. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you. Yes, and Charles, again, I want everybody turning in leads if you've got them, and we'll call them. We'll follow up with you. Just tell them that your partners, the Wolves, they've been doing, and you can even drop our credibility. You can say they've been doing the business over 25 years. They used to be realtors, and now they just help out folks by buying their house directly. And they've done over 800 deals. Okay, so if you don't, in fact, some of you guys may lack a little credibility, you can go ahead and use our credibility and say, my partners are the Wolves, and they help out a lot of people all around the country, and they'll be calling you on Monday night. I think it's August 4th, okay, at sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so that's what I want you to say. Now, I want you to go ahead, and if you're sending us leads, you can email them to us, and I want you to email them to us at wolfcouple@gmail.com. And then you know what I want you to do is put Brian in caps in the subject line, because otherwise sometimes you know how emails are. They get buried and stuff and lost. Okay, so that's the information right there to email to, and also to, did I send that? Yes. To email to, and also to call me or text me. Okay, you know what? I will take texts, and you can, if you send me something by email, text me at the same time that, hey, I just sent you some leads, I sent you some deals or whatever. And again, guys, this is your opportunity to have us call your leads, close them, experts closing your leads, and we'll follow up with you after the event a week from Monday and let you know what happened if we got a hold of people. Now, we won't just call that night. We'll call several times over 3 days. So it's a 3-day event that we do. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll keep calling them. If we didn't get them on the live calling on Monday night in front of everybody, we'll keep trying. So let us try to help you close leads. This is one of the best things. We offer this about every 2 months when we do this event. And so, I hope you can turn in some great leads, and I hope we can close you a deal. That would be awesome. Okay, get you to your next deal. All right, so great to see everybody again. Caleb, awesome to see you here. Hey, Brian, yay! I always like to see Caleb. I have a ton old floating on. Now, guys, don't send me just reams of crud. I don't want to just see terrible. I want you to. Don't just send stuff without rechecking on it. Go back in Zillow, see if it's still listed, see if it's, and write good notes about it. So I'm willing to take, some leads, but nothing that's sold. Don't send me something that I'm just going to spin my tires on. But, if it's still, and you know what, it can be off market. I'm okay with that. If it was never sold. So if someone had it for sale, 2 months ago, and then they sold it, I don't want that. But if they took it off the market and it never sold, that I'm okay with that, because there's still something there. There's still, an impetus to sell. So I'm okay with that. So you can send us some older stuff so long as you check and make sure it's still for sale. All right. Now, last thing I want to mention is it's our anniversary. It's Lynette's and my 40th anniversary on Sunday. Isn't that awesome? I'm really, it's been a great ride. We met in 1983. We got married in 1985 on July 27th. So Sunday is the day. We're going to do a special thing. We're going out to eat at Morton's, and we're going to have all the kids over and do like an anniversary party. And then next week, we're going to take off and go and do a staycation somewhere. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And but just, I love to share, big momentous things with you guys too. And the 40th wedding anniversary, that's about the biggest they get. So, but we'll be back on Monday, and I won't miss our appointment here. Okay, sometimes we do it 8:30, and sometimes it comes at 9:30 because of stuff intrudes. But I'm always here on Mondays and Fridays. Happy to help you guys. And remember, turn in leads. We're still doing our summer contest. So if you have a deal that you'd like to maybe win a prize for, and I'll share it with everybody what you did and how it worked out, turn them in. And for sure, turn in leads, because we're calling them live a week from Monday, and I'd love to close another deal for you. Okay, so let's close deals. Let's do that for our affirmation. Let's close deals. Ready? On three times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's close deals. Let's close deals. Let's close deals. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's do 3 deep breaths. Nice deep breath in. Hold it a little bit and good job. Another one. This is really good for your body. Much better than you think even. Cleanses your lymph system. Another. Yes, and it feels good. At least 3 times a day. Don't forget to do your deep breathing. All right, so you guys have your marching orders. Get some great leads. Send them over to, you can always, if you're sending me an email with attachments, always text me, let me know they're coming. And Lacey, one other thing, that letter on your testimonial, I couldn't get the letter. I can't open the letter. I got all those pictures, but if you want to send me that letter again on your testimonial that you were sending me. All right, plus leads, guys. Again, we need leads to call for our event a week from Monday, so feel free to send me all you got. All right, so I will see you guys on Monday. It's going to be my anniversary on Sunday, so when you see me next, I will have been married for 40 years. Wow, oh my gosh, unreal. Okay, so guys, I love you, and I will see you on Monday. Until then, keep expecting success, getting awesome training from the Wolf Couple, and taking action. Yes.